Good morning, everybody. It's Brad Lyons and Christa Madrid, your realtor at Colorado Home Realty. Brad's with Independent Bank. Here we are, Monday morning, our second Monday, our third episode, and we are here to give you our 15 minutes of fame, but we're hoping it's more informational than famous. Anyway,
I like
Brad,
fame too, though.
who doesn't like fame, even if it's just for 5 minutes?
5 minutes. We'll set up for 5 minutes of famous.
That's right. That's right. We all deserve our moment in the spotlight, and that's what we're here is to put other people in the spotlight.
Right, we're
Not
here to
true?
help. That is absolutely true. And I think one of the things that we've been trying to do as a society lately is really spotlight those who are really stepping up to help us, right? We've got our healthcare workers out there that are just busting their humps, trying to get people well, get people safe, get people home. And one of the things that I wanted to chat about real quick this morning is the fact that we actually have a program available for a lot of our helpers. It's called the My Hero Loan Program. And what we do for our community members here at Independent Financials, we actually will help them with $1,000 towards the closing costs on their loan with us. And that's not something that we're going to build into the price of the loan. It's just truly a gift that we offer to help folks out. And what that goes out to is that goes out to our teachers, our law enforcement, firefighters, emergency responders, doctors and nurses, and then and pretty much medical care workers, and also veterans. So it's a pretty wide span of who we offer that to be just assistive, be thankful, and be helpful to them. So I think we really are, you hear the howling out there at 8 o'clock at night, and we've been doing this for a while. It just reminded me that, there's always help for the helpers, and we appreciate you. And so just want to invite you to be able to take advantage of that.
So is this your howl for the workers? Independent Financials howl for the workers?
Yeah, exactly. It's our howl for the workers. I love it. Yeah, it's definitely something that we've been we'd worked on for quite a while and got the bank to sign off on it. They're like, yeah, that's a great idea. We're definitely going to do that. So very thankful to have that available as an arrow in the quiver to just help those who help us.
I love that. I think that's amazing. You guys have always carried a program such as this one, but it's really awesome that you're highlighting it now, because those are the people who are literally on our front lines. We don't have to be at war to consider frontline sacrifice. These are, like you said, people who help us, who help the entire world. They don't benefit from it, but the world benefits because of them. Can you imagine life without them? I couldn't.
Absolutely not. It's just they definitely are greasing the wheels of our society right now to help us all get to where we need to be. And I think that we're all doing our part to stay home and to be safe and that kind of thing. And that's why we're also trying to be protective of our medical care workers so that we don't have hospitals that are overrun right now. So
yes, I think that looking out for them is best, because nobody else will. I truly think this is an admirable program. One thing I wanted to ask is, does this also apply, because some of our heroes are furry heroes, whether they're horses or dogs, being utilized by the medical field or the police field or fire departments when it comes to search and rescue or what have you. Does this open up to veterinarians as well?
That is a topic that we've talked about. I don't know that we're there yet with vets.
Okay.
But the answer is always no if I don't ask the question. So typically what I do when I get into that situation is just say, hey, bank, can I do this?
We have a doctor.
A lot of times they're like, yeah, that makes sense. So we're going to take a look at each opportunity there. And basically, I like to say I'm going to make them tell me no.
A case by case basis. I like that.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, that's awesome, because you know what? Not all heroes are in our form.
That's right. That's absolutely right. And those vets really, with the canine units and the equestrian cops and that kind of thing, they are our helpers too.
Mm-hmm. Agreed. So, whoops! Did you see that?
No, I didn't see anything.
Everybody's gonna see that, but that is so funny. Oh my gosh. See, we're human just like you guys. Laugh with us. It doesn't matter, whatever engages you. So, Brad, talk to me a little bit about where the rates are right now.
So right now, I know that a lot of the stuff that we hear is mixed messages that, rates have gone up or whatever, but historically, we're still so very low right now. And actually, interest rates are almost a full percentage point lower than they were even a year ago, according to Freddie Mac. So
Holy smokes.
they're hovering down in, you could get anywhere from the low threes to the low fours for an interest rate, just depending on what you're trying to do and the type of loan, but still just incredibly low interest rates. And what I want to point out to folks is, you and I focus a lot on purchase and getting a good deal and getting the lowest payment that you can have for a home purchase. And that is the best way to do things, is to keep your budget friendly. But what you want to know if you're even considering a refinance is that in order for a lender to be able to even offer you a refinance, you have protection in the fact that the state of Colorado requires that any lender that presents you or provides you with a solution on a mortgage refinance loan has to produce what's called a net tangible benefit. And what that means is they can't just do the loan for any reason whatsoever. It has to meet certain metrics. So for example, let's say you lower your interest rate and the lowered interest rate's only saving you $37 a month. Well, that's not going to really get you that far. And you may think, oh, I'm getting a lower interest rate. But what's really it actually doing for you? So the net tangible benefit test is something that's built in to protect people who are actually going to borrow on a refi, to make sure that they're actually getting a bang for their buck on the transaction.
Oh, I think that's so cool. I can't tell you how many times I've worked with people in the past outside of the coronavirus situation who have utilized their home as an ATM machine. And when it's time to sell, um, there's just nothing left.
Yeah.
It's a really sad situation. It breaks my heart to see people who work so hard to get into a home and get no benefit whatsoever from the sale of their home, or have to sell it because um, taxes increased,
Oh, yeah.
appreciation, all those things increase your monthly payment, and time over time, those things will catch up to you. $150 to $250 increase can make or break somebody, especially when you're utilizing your assets as an ATM machine.
Yeah, you got to be careful of that. And there's actually protections in place for that as well. I guess I don't know if I want to call it protections, but when you're borrowing money where you're taking cash out of the house,
Mm-hmm.
it's always going to cost you more than if you're just refinancing the open balance. So you really have to be diligent in, should I do this? I am doing this so that I can what? And how is that going to affect me now? And how's that going to affect me 2 years, 3 years from now when I need to ask Chris to put a sign in my yard?
Right,
And it may not be
right.
2 or 3 years, it may be 6 months, but yeah, you really need to have pros like Christa Madrid and Brad Lyons on your side to be able to help you understand what's happening now, what's the benefit now, and where's this going to put me down the line.
So, what another question I have is, in chatting with my neighbors over the weekend, and I'll tell you how all of that turned out. It was pretty cool, actually. But in chatting with some of my neighbors, um, a lot of my neighbors know I'm in real estate. A lot of them ask me for my opinions here and there. But one neighbor in particular mentioned to me that her bank, her mortgage company, is
Mhm.
only allowing a forbearance. They're only offering a forbearance. And then at the end of the forbearance period, they're offering a loan modification. And I told her she should probably talk to a second lender, and I put your name out there for her,
Thank you.
but
Mhm.
you're welcome. But she should probably talk to a second lender, whether it's you or one of her choice, before she signs any paperwork on that, because we want to be sure that a forbearance, especially when that's all that's being offered, is the right way to go.
Yeah, and that's something we talked about on one of our previous calls.
Sure.
It may be the only thing that you can do depending on your situation. and then, doing the modification at the end. And what that's going to do is it's going to help someone stay in their house. But what it also is going to do is it's going to put them in a position to have some pretty severe challenges on borrowing for a while. So if you need to buy that car, if you need to get a new credit card, if you need to sell and buy a new home and finance that home, that's going to create some barriers for you going forward. But if it helps you stay in your house, and it helps you get onto the next level in life, not next level, but the next plane that you need to be on, then it might be something worth looking into. But yeah, absolutely ready to have that discussion with someone, and just kind of like, let's turn over some rocks, so to say, to find out if there's a different solution that we could potentially put together that wouldn't require going down the forbearance trail.
So these things that could affect you, I'm hearing, and maybe I'm hearing wrong, so correct me, is that this could affect your credit.
Yeah, definitely. And I think that that's it's kind of unavoidable. And basically, if your mortgage reports on paying on time right now, but if something changes with that in your forbearance, the rating from your mortgage creditor is going to change on your credit report, and that's going to be evident that you had some sort of payment struggle, or that you're not paying as agreed on the loan, which affects your FICO score, which affects your ability to borrow, which affects your pricing that you would get on a loan. So it's definitely, there's a cascading effect there.
So you're going to have some recovery to do.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Okay. Well, in some cases, they don't have a choice but to go that route. But I just like for people to be aware of what they're looking at in the future, because even if you have to take that route, it's good to have a plan out of it, or to forecast ahead of that time to keep your nose above water, for sure.
Most definitely. Yeah. Don't kick the can on it. No, like, okay, this is now, and in X number of months or X number of years from now, this is when I can do this again.
Right. Right. So I think that's going to be extremely useful. I also have to tell you, I figured out another way to share our episodes to
Good.
a broader audience. So I can't wait to get this out there. That way more people can see and hear about this. And, again, the whole idea is helping people. Another thing that was asked of me over the weekend was, why are the builders open? If you can't do open houses and you can't show in person, why are the builders? Well, there's a couple of reasons. A, places are vacant, but still that would require a gathering of people. They might not walk you through the home, but I can't be there with you to show you the home, because that's what the real estate commission says we can't do. That's what NAR and CAR says we can't do. So I can't do that with you. However, I have to warn you guys of two things. One, don't ever go to a builder without having a pre-approval, like a scrubbed pre-approval for your loan. That way you already know what you can and cannot afford. Second thing is, I want to remind you, never go to a builder without a realtor in your pocket, whether it's by the phone, a card, their information on your phone, whatever. Be equipped with the realtor's name and number, and tell them you have a realtor. That way,
most definitely,
they can back off. Because one thing a lot of people need to be reminded of is the builders, they're awesome. They are awesome. I'm not going to deny that. But they are employed by the builder. These salespeople are not there to represent you as the buyer. They're there to sell homes for the builder, who writes their paycheck every other week, every week, whatever. Don't go in unrepresented. I can be there by phone. I can be there by video. I can be there just by you dropping my name, and we can discuss something afterward. But never, ever go in without a realtor in your pocket. And second of all, never go in expecting to sign paperwork on your first visit, because if that's the case, you're going to be, I won't say you're going to be in big trouble, but you might be in for some surprises.
surprises and, you know, the inability to really have a nice negotiation over something. You know, having a professional in your corner that can help you negotiate one of the biggest transactions of your life is not something that you want to just do in a sales office. It's something you want to have some sincere discussion around.
Well, most of these homes are priced in price points that this wouldn't be your first home. This wouldn't be your entry level home. So typically you're going to have a home to sell. They're going to throw an agent at you. This person can sell it for 1% or less, but they're not, that person is also referred to by the builder. You're running into a lot of situation where you're just not properly represented. And you don't have to hire a realtor.
Yeah, and then
you definitely should consult with one.
That's the truth. And there's the old adage there, you get what you pay for sometimes. And sometimes that's really like, I thought my money should have gone a lot further, right?
Either your money should have gone a lot further, or they told me my house was going to be ready by June. And I'm just now finding out now in April that I'm not going to be in my house until October. What happened? I just sold my house. I don't have a place to live. What are you going to do?
Yeah.
They don't tell you that they have all these fine prints and intricacies of their contract. And that's where we come in, because we know these contracts also. And that's the other thing, is they write these sales agreements on builder contract, not Colorado real estate contracts.
There you go.
Guys, I hope that's enough to get you to want to protect yourself. Like Brad said, this is the biggest purchase of your life. It might not be the most expensive, but it is the biggest purchase of your life. Whether it's your first one or your fifth one, why would you go in unprotected? Just why? You're not buying a car. It's not a car. It's not a credit card. This is a house with a mortgage that you're committing to 30 years on.
Absolutely.
Whether you stay there or not for 30 years, that's your choice, but 30 years, huge commitment. Don't go in unequipped.
Couldn't agree more.
Well, Brad, what else do you have?
I think that I just want to remind folks one more thing about just touching on the refinance. I think that a lot of folks still have really good interest rates from maybe when they did a refinance before. But when you look at the total debt load that they're carrying with regards to credit cards or a home equity loan or something like that, we really need to kind of quantify what those interest rates are and what those are calculating towards in comparison with the interest rate that's on the mortgage. And sometimes it makes sense to pay off even the lower rate mortgage that you have if you can bundle everything together and create monthly savings. So just want to encourage you to have that discussion with me as well.
Awesome. Well, everybody, I think we're about up at our 15 minutes of fame, and I just want to remind you, Brad Lyons and me, Christa Madrid, we are here for you. Talking to us does not obligate you to utilize us, but we'd just like to educate you so you can make informed decisions, not emotional decisions.
Absolutely.
With that said, we will see you guys on Friday. Let us know how everything goes. We're here by text, phone calls, and by email. And I want to throw one more thing out there. If there's something that you want to talk about or that you want to offer during these troubled times, reach out to Brad or reach out to me, and we'll talk about having you in one of our next episodes.
That would be so much fun to have a guest star. Yes.
All right, everybody. Well, take care. Enjoy your week, and happy Monday.
See you later.
Bye-bye.